So a friend of mine reached out to me through WhatsApp, and she was basically checking on me and wishing me a happy new year for 2024. But then along the way, we got into the conversation of what my goals and resolutions are for 2024. And one of the questions that she asked me was, what are you going to do about the constantly growing competition in the photography and film industry in Uganda? Well, I gave it a little bit of thought because it's a very important question. And my response was, competition is the best thing that has ever happened to photography and film industry in Uganda. And here is why. So just to give you a little bit of context of how we moved from a pure monopoly of the photography and film industry in Uganda to an absolute influx, of the photography and film market that we have currently. So for those that were around in the early and the mid 90s, you all remember how the entire photography thing worked. We had like every village or every town had like this one photographer who would carry around a film camera with probably only one lens. And these were the old mechanical film cameras. And he would maybe show up like on a weekend and move from one home to another, looking for customers that want to take photos. So maybe he would take a portrait photograph of a person that wanted the photograph, maybe a passport photo or a family photo, especially during the festive days like maybe Easter, Christmas, and all the other celebrations that were going on in the country at that time. And then it would take this photographer about a week or so to have the film taken to be processed and then brought back, and then he would travel back and go on distributing from one home to another. Well, that was how the industry was. You had to, everything was manual. You had to walk to your client, and then you had to carry the films and take them for processing. But then, moving forward to the early 2000s, with the boom of the internet that gave birth to the social media revolution, where we see Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter coming on board. And given the fact that these social media platforms were driven by imagery, this led to so many people getting on board photography and film. And also the fact that the technology also had already evolved. We got into digital photography, where now cameras took instant photographs that would be printed instantly. So for me, I think it became an easy way to make money, because you literally bought a simple, cheap camera on maybe the second-hand market, and then you just walk around, take photos, and have them printed instantly. And then also the fact that photographs on social media could be like directly taken from a camera onto a computer and then posted. So we basically saw a rise of a certain breed of young and enthusiastic photographers who have currently now caused an influx within the photography and film industry, because right now there are so many photographers and filmmakers. And also maybe the other factor is that photography didn't really need a lot of studying and going to school and getting a degree. All you had to do was purchase a camera, maybe apprentice for a seasoned photographer for a week or two, and then you're good to go and make money. So this basically has led to an influx, to a concentration of so many photographers in the industry. And for so many people, it seems like a bad thing, or it seems like a negative impact. But for me, I would differ, because without competition, then an industry does not innovate, an industry does not grow. And so I'm just going to share with you some of the reasons why I think competition is one of the best things that has ever happened to the photography and film industry in Uganda. Competition naturally fosters innovation and growth within the industry, because the fact that there are many photographers and filmmakers to keep on top of your game, then you need to constantly innovate and get these new ideas and keep growing. So without competition, you literally are complacent and you stagnate literally. I think when there's competition, it naturally drives innovation. You see photographers coming up with all sorts of ideas. Right now, the ideas in photography are mind-blowing. We have all kinds of photography. There are so many new tools that have been introduced and so many applications, and this is because of competition. So without competition, then the industry does not innovate and does not grow. So for any photographer out there, please embrace competition and work within the competition. So reason number 2 is that competition also drives quality within the photography and film industry. And by quality, it's not just quality in the product. It's quality in the processes of producing the photographs, producing the films. It's also quality in the customer service. Service providers or photographers and filmmakers are more cognizant of the competition around them, and they just want to produce quality products and also be quality service providers such that they can be hired for the next job. So inadvertently, pay more attention to quality because they are aware of the growing competition. So this is good for the entire industry because the customer benefits, but also the photographer and filmmaker grows in terms of the quality offer that they are providing for the customer. Competition gives an opportunity for hardworking and talented photographers and filmmakers to stand out from the crowd. And for me, that is the most outstanding reason, because how do you be outstanding when you are alone, without any competition? I think for me to be outstanding, for my style to be outstanding, for my talent to be outstanding, for my quality to be outstanding, or for my service to be outstanding, there needs to be competition. I mean, then how do you differentiate my style from another photographer? How do you differentiate my quality from another photographer? So what competition does is that it creates like sort of an influx in the market of so many photographers and filmmakers, and then it is up to you, to grow, to educate yourself, to discipline yourself, and to become an outstanding, talented, and hardworking photographer. So I would say, contrary to a monopoly where you're only one photographer with one style that everybody likes, competition in this case it's fertile ground for photographers and filmmakers to express themselves creatively and showcase their talent, and also work hard and get to the level that they want to be, or get to a higher level, and also be able to make a mark on the industry and the market. So the other positive thing about competition for the market is that competition creates a plethora of choices for the customers and the entire industry as a whole. Because when there is competition, then there's different classes of product. There's different classes of services that is offered on the market. Because think about it, when the market grows big and more diverse, then you'll have so many different photographers and filmmakers getting into it, but all of them are getting into photography and film at a certain level. And being at that level specifically will be a choice for somebody within the market. I'll give you an example. If you come into the industry and maybe you have one camera and you want to make money, you definitely have a slot for yourself, because there's somebody out there that wants to pay for one camera on their wedding and get photographs or get videos. Then maybe a seasoned photographer that has been in there and invested more will have maybe a set of 3, 4, 5 cameras. Will also have a client base that specifically wants what he provides for a particular amount that he also asks for. So having competition creates a market that is diverse, in terms of prices, in terms of quality, in terms of the entire product offering that we are giving to the market. So the other reason why competition is not something to fear is that the photography and film industry is so wide and diverse and has more than enough space for each and every photographer, filmmaker, or any other creative, to join in and contribute to the industry. Photography has so many genres and so many sub-genres and different styles that everybody can have, a piece of the pie. We have wedding photography, we have wildlife photography, we have real estate, we have fashion photography, we have portrait photography, we now even have newborn photography. We have, for those that do the nude photography, it's also there. On the outside, it might look like it is saturated, but I would tell you it's not even close to being saturated. So competition is good because it will bring more entrants into the industry. This is definitely going to grow positively the industry from one level to another. So I would say every photographer and filmmaker that aspires to join the industry is more than welcome. There is not enough competition. There should even be more, such that the industry grows as a whole. The other thing about competition in the photography and film industry is that it has created awareness, positive publicity for the photography and film industry. And I would say I am grateful for that publicity and awareness. I mean, if it was this long forgotten crafts, a monopoly of only one or two or three, people wouldn't know the need for photography. They wouldn't know the purpose and applications of photography. They would never know me, They would never know any other photographer out there that is trying to take photos, because it would not ring a bell in their minds. I mean, people would be like, what is photography about? What is filmmaking about? But the fact that there is now aggressive competition in the industry, then it's raising awareness, it's making noise about the craft. And this is good for any aspiring photographer and filmmaker. If you want to go in an industry that has no competition, well and good, you can go in there. But I would say there's more publicity, there's more awareness created when there is competition within an industry. And this is at national level. And of course, it goes to the global level. So last but not least, one of the reasons you shouldn't fear competition, but rather embrace it, is that the craft of photography and film takes years to develop. It takes time, to refine your skills from one level to another. And for me, this means that it's a self-limiting industry in a way. It's a self-regulating industry in terms of the entrance into the industry, because I mean, you cannot start from level 1 and want to earn as a person who is at level 10. That's taken me about 7 years to refine my skills, and currently I don't feel like I'm there yet. So what does that mean? That means that the new entrant that is coming in will also have to take time to get to where I am. And for me, that is not competition really in the real sense of the word, because everybody has their own share. If you are at the beginner level, you have your market, you have your equipment, you have your niche. And if somebody is at at a higher level or at a professional level, they have their niche, they have their market, and you slowly go through one level at a time. And when one photographer goes from one level to another photographer replaces them. So it's a self-regulating industry, and competition is not something you should worry about. So for me, I would say my appeal to those that want to get into the industry: do not be shy, do not be intimidated by the so-called competition, because it's literally not there. And if there's any competition, it's really for your own benefit. So I would say new photographers, new aspiring filmmakers, editors, and basically all the other moving parts of the craft should come in and be a part of this, because photography is actually nice, and it's an interesting craft that I've grown to love. So thank you so much for watching this YouTube video, and I'd really love to wish you a prosperous 2024. And for me, I'm really excited on my side because I'm going to be doing so many things. I have so much on my plate and I have to finish it. Feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Photo Conversations Uganda, and ring the bell button to be notified about the new content that we'll be producing regularly. Thank you so much and be blessed. See you on the next one.